Hugh Hefner, a true American icon, created an empire that was unrivaled.
Although some of us bunnies may have gone rogue, it's because of the love and respect that we received from the man behind it all.
Because after all, we did learn from the best.
Relive the stories from the most prominent celebrity home in history.
What happens in the grotto stays in the grotto.
From those of us that lived it,
the employees that worked it,
and the guests who loved it.
And
the mayhem continues.
Here we are once again creating some wild mayhem, but this time we're in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
This place sick or what?
It's sick.
So we're actually at my place of employment, my 9 to 5, and I want to give a shout out. Thank you, Victorino Noval, for letting us use your library. And we've got a great show ahead as we just went to a really cool movie premiere.
We did. It was pretty awesome.
Let's be honest.
It was bone chilling. Let's just say that.
I was super impressed, and we actually have Brande Roderick with us. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Director, producer, writer,
I know.
actress.
How many titles are you on this?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Does that make you tired already?
I've been tired. Yes. No, lots of hats I was wearing. Definitely.
Well, you know, I received a phone call a few months back, and Joshua, everyone knows Joshua. Joshua's been on the show, and he's back with us. But you had called me and said, you tell the story about actually how you came upon this movie. Like, you did not know you were doing this movie with Brande.
No, I was hired just as, kind of like a hired gun. I worked for different directors, and Brande had reached out to somebody who offered me up. And it was during the interview. And I knew, Brande. I've known Brande for. And I waited till the end of the interview to see how long it would take her to figure it out. And then at the very end, she finally said, "By the way, that name sounds very familiar." I'm like, "Yeah, I was Hef's bartender. I've known you for 14 years. How have you been?" And that was it. And then her reaction, and then that was like an immediate hire, I think. You said, "Oh, you got the job."
That's so awesome.
What a weird coincidence, yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. So we are talking about the movie Wineville. And by the way, Brande, the perfect amount of gore. I was like, good. I know, but you were saying at the Q&A, I guess, after the fact, is that you do like gore.
Yeah, you can't have a horror movie without any gore.
And, pretty much mostly practical effects, a little digital sweetening, but we had Vincent Guastini did a great job of all the practical effects in the movie.
You know what I liked about it? I liked that it was set in the 70s and that it just had that feel, you know what I mean? Like that cult classic feel of the horror movies that we used to watch, right? Like it had that feel, but it also had the modern feel. And of course, Brande was amazing in it. And there is a good portion of the end of the movie where she's in Daisy Dukes. Look really good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For all the Baywatch fans out there that are listening to this podcast. Oh, yeah, you delivered.
Yeah, you look good in all the scenes. That was pretty amazing.
Well, I might have done that part on purpose.
So good. It was so good.
So was the whole concept of the movie, like, did you write the whole movie out? Did you have writers working with you?
Definitely had a writer working with me, Richard Shankman. We first came up with the location. We had the location, so that's where it started. We also had myself and my son. So I wanted to do a story, of course, that had to do with a mother that will do anything to save her son. So that's kind of how it started. And by going to the location and kind of coming up with the story, Richard and I just went back and forth. I'd come up with something, I'd send it to him, and he'd send something back, and we just kept going back and forth until we came up with our story. And then he went away and started writing, and that's how it came about.
Tell us a little bit about the name Wineville and the location that you guys chose, because it's a really great story.
It's like a background story.
Yeah, it's a great background story.
Well, the reason why we decided to call it Wineville is because where we actually shot, the Galliano Winery, is, I don't know if it's the oldest winery, but at least like the first or second oldest winery in Southern California. And that winery is actually on Wineville Road. And on Wineville Road is where the chicken coop murders happened. And the chicken coop murders were such a huge, brought such terrible publicity to the town that they ended up having to change the name of the town to Miraloma. So we homage to kind of keep it Wineville, its original name of the town, and had the name. kept the name.
Also, in the very opening credits, you have the word evil come up, and that is wrapped in the title Wineville, this name of the city, Wineville, the word evil. I thought that was so clever. I was like, ooh, what's this all about? And then it was the name. I was like, oh, that was so brilliant. So that was great.
You know what? So crazy that all of us, like, we all knew the movie was going to be called Wineville, everything. And I sent out the first rough draft of the film, a real rough cut, sent it to my very dear friend who is an amazing horror film writer, director, producer, Tim Sullivan. And he's like, oh, wow, Brande, that's so cool that you have evil in the title. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Epic.
He's like, yeah, and you have evil right in the middle. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then
it was a sign.
Yeah, so crazy that.
Yeah, that was great.
We all missed it. I even called you. I was like, that marketing department, what a great job. Because I found out when I saw the poster, on the poster, it's highlighted inside the title. And I was blown away. I was like, the whole time. It was on the slate.
It's so clever.
It's on the slate before every shot. I mean, it was like,
use it as a marketing tool and highlight the evil. And when we did the title, start with the evil, come out. I mean, it was just, there's so much you could do with it now.
It's great.
Well, that I thought was very genius. The fact that it was like a sign, it was there. I said, you can't make that up. Like, you couldn't create a name to put evil in there. The fact that it was already in there.
I thought maybe that's why it was Wineville. Yeah.
But I know we're talking about like all the hats you were wearing. I want to talk about all the hats. Again, I know this probably tires you, but you took on a lot, Brande. Honestly, list off everything you were in this film.
Well, actress, producer, executive producer, director, not to mention just kind of doing a little bit of everything while on set. I created props before we went on set. I could probably think of a lot of things if I went through it.
How long did it take from beginning to end to film this project?
Well, it still hasn't ended. So
well, I mean, to get the movie done, from the minute you do the first scene till you finish the movie. We just got to see the movie.
Just the production part, the actual physical shoot, 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
What?
Yeah. The pre-production was about almost a year. Then we shot for 2 weeks, and the post-production's been almost a year.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's pretty intense.
That's crazy. You guys must have been all day long shooting and filming. Like, your days must have been so long.
Well, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Yeah.
Well, and you're juggling that with your family life.
Yeah, but I'm not only there 12 hours. Like, that's our shooting time.
Right, exactly. I just like a lot of people want to do a project like this and they're like, oh, I've got this great idea. I go, okay, are you committed? Are you really ready to do this? Because we're talking, it's hours upon hours. Like, there's no sleep. Like, which is cool, but you got to know it because too many people think it's easy success. Any project you want to do something that's entertainment, they think it's like night and day, and it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
So now I've known Josh to be in the film industry. You've actually killed me multiple times.
Yeah,
you're always the first AD in most all the horror movies that I've known you to do. Yeah, and you actually took on a new role this time.
When Brande realized kind of my experience in doing these kind of things, she kind of mentioned we just kind of worked it out where if I had her back through a lot of this, the process of getting the script right together and the director and her directing and everything to kind of make it work. And they were nice enough to hook me up with an associate producer credit. And I brought a lot of some staff and some friends I knew, and I met some people on Wineville, some crew that I've brought on to other films since, and it was wonderful. It was a great shoot.
Now, as a matter of fact, I had a phone call in this library because you had called me up and you said, hey, B, are you available? And it's usually always last second. Are you available either in 2 days or this afternoon? And I want to kill you again because you killed me in a few movies.
Yeah, who else gets to kill their boss?
I love camera, that. So I always said to Josh, Brande, that I'll do a film only if I get to get killed. That's like our pact. I'm like, that's half the fun of it because I don't take it serious for me. I just think it's funny that, I die in another movie. Like, well, we did Big Ass Spider. I've
killed you with a giant spider. And, I killed you with a hammer in a movie theater.
Yeah, in the theater with a hammer.
Great fun.
Okay, but I don't see where I would have been killed in this movie, or was I going to be, I don't want to give any plots away on this movie, but I'm like watching, there's one character and I'm watching him and he ends up making out with another dude. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that what Josh was wanting me to do?
Oh, is that what you thought when you saw
Yeah, I'm watching the movie,
hilarious.
Brandy, and I'm thinking, okay, which is the one that Josh is saying, hey, if I was available, hey, you'd be great for this part. And I'm like watching the movie, and I'm like, the only other guy I see in here that I could see like quick in and out and that gets killed, I'm like, I'm confused.
Oh, it would have been in and out, all right. I did not realize. No, what it was there was an iteration of the script where there were immigrants who would go through. There was like a passage of from border crossings would go through, and sometimes they would, get the drifters and to process this.
Okay, all right,
There was an iteration of a script like that, but we moved on from that. Too bad. I wanted you dead.
Different movie, different script, everything.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. Just moved on. Sorry, buddy. It happens. It's Hollywood.
You got on the cutting room floor.
Yeah. Well, Brandy, if you ever want to kill me in your next movie, I'm always available.
We wouldn't make you make out with a guy and all that. So
God bless you. So I know you're going to festivals. That's why we weren't able to get you in studio. You're traveling already. Like bam, bam, bam. The following weekend, you were already in. Was it Kentucky?
Yeah, I just got back super late last night. I already did the LA, then flew to Kentucky, did that circuit, and got back last night. And then I leave again and go to Fort Lauderdale.
Ooh,
wow.
Yeah. Cool.
I was there for the LA response. I haven't heard. How did the Kentucky festival? How was it?
Oh, it was good.
The audience,
it was totally.
They were good. Got to know.
It was one of the big called Scarefest weekend. It was a mix of the horror convention with a horror film festival. So they combined it.
And the horror fans, I'm hoping they reacted as well as the audience that when we all saw in LA.
I got to tell you, did you hear those reactions in the theater? Every gore scene was so cool. Like, and the whole time I had Angel Boris on this side. Victoria was right back here. It was great to hear everyone freaking out. We had Ava Fabian there. And I'm like freaking out because I love it. I mean, I'm just digging on the whole thing. It was really kind of fun to watch the whole audience.
There was a lot of this going on.
A lot of it. Good. That's kind of what we're
Have
trying
you
to do.
always loved horror? I never knew this part about you, Brandy.
How is that possible, Brian?
I don't remember you ever talking about like.
She's been in horror movies. Oh my God, with Snoop Dogg.
No, I don't ever remember you ever like when you were up at the mansion. I don't ever remember you talking about being into horror movies. Or if we did, my apology. I just don't recall that.
Well, geez, Louise, my bad. Yeah. Ever since I was a little girl, I mean, my first horror film was watching with my mother on the couch, The Exorcist, at 6 years old. And that was like my first experience into it. And then ever since then, it's like my mom's a huge horror film buff. So we would always just watch horror films together.
That's cool. And perfect for the Halloween season. I think it's perfect that this movie just came out right now.
It's festival circuit.
Because it's more than just a horror movie. Like Josh, I've seen like with you, we've done some festival nights where we go over to Josh's and we'll watch this movie or that movie, and it's back to back to back, and it's cool. It's all, but I like the story and plot twists. And wow, as it was hitting toward the end and all the plot twists and figuring out, wait a minute, I was wrong on that. What? Yeah. That happened? I mean, again, I'm really being careful not to give anything away. I want people to go see this movie. You have to go see Wineville. Yeah. But we're going to take a quick break because I want to talk about going to these festivals and kind of what's going on in the whole industry right now. We'll be right back. You are listening to Rogue Bunnies Mayhem.
Hi, it's Victoria Fuller, founder and lead artist of Rogue Bunnies, and more importantly, Miss January 1996. You should all know the story by now. Me and my 100 bunny sisters have gone rogue. What you need to do is visit roguebunnies.com. By purchasing your Rogue Bunnies NFTs, you can be part of our Discord community, which gets you early access to Rogue Bunnies series drops, special promotions, exciting IRL events, our famous poker nights, and so much more. All you have to do is visit roguebunnies.com. That's ROGUEBUNNIES.com. Let's explore the future together.
Welcome to the metaverse.
Okay, so I was just asking you. You're already on the festival train. We talked about you going to Kentucky, and I think you're going to Fort Lauderdale. Was that November 4th you were mentioning?
Yeah, so our screening is 9 p.m. slot. It's a Saturday night, and what's so exciting about this festival, unlike the one we were just in at Scarefest, this is a mainstream festival. Like every single genre is there. So the fact that our film a thriller horror is getting accepted into a real mainstream festival is actually pretty exciting.
Ooh, that is great.
And to get that prime time slot.
That's a great time slot. 9:00 on Saturday.
Heck
That's like, wow.
Yeah.
And I think the perfect timing of bringing out this film is this. Did you guys purposely do that to be around Halloween?
Well, those are the festival. That's festival time for all the horror.
Okay, so
it's like Scare
which
Fest.
makes sense.
And,
Okay.
So that we're just targeting what we could, and but it gets overloaded. There's some you can get into, and there's some you can't. But word of mouth, and we have a review. There was there was a press guy in the audience for the LA one, and he posted a review. I didn't know that, and
again, Unseen Films. They're not just they're a mainstream review magazine. They're not just horror films. So to get such an amazing review from someone that does these reviews, that was exciting.
Yeah.
So if you want to read the review, go to Wineville Movie and look at the clip, or Brande Roderick, and you can see it.
And that generates a kind of word of mouth that you can get picked up with other festivals. And
gotcha.
It's a good time. So let's hit that horror house.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's really cool is this show is going to drop on Monday, October 30th, which is the day before Halloween. Perfect.
Ooh.
Anyone that wants to really see a horror movie that's going to kind of really be twisted in your head. And that's the word you used. You said that it's kind of twisted.
It's very twisted.
It's dark.
It's dark.
When we were shooting it, there was, it was dark, but we were very careful. We were very sensitive and professional in fact, at the screening, the actress who was involved in a lot of those really dark scenes, kind of stood up and mentioned the crew it was so comfortable to do it because, the subject matter, everyone was very professional. And that was a nice thing to hear and for her.
Well, what I thought was cool also, Brande, is that when I saw people that were there at the premiere, it's like a lot of family, like everyone's connected in, especially us out here in Hollywood in some form or fashion or connected with the Playboy Mansion. But I saw that Ted Mayer was there and I'm like, Ted, oh my gosh. And he represented the actress, I believe, that played the younger you, correct?
Yeah.
How was that like for you? I mean, here you are having this character who's playing you. I always thought that would be a trip, like for me to actually be with some actor that was going to be playing the younger me. I have to say, okay, this is how I am. These are my little quirks. We're going to have to make sure that these are in there at the beginning so that way you could see them as an adult.
Yeah, she did a great job.
She did a great job.
She's taller than I am, but
but you can't tell on.
You can't tell you couldn't tell on the film.
It worked.
And I wanted to ask you, so where can everybody, once they hear this, people are going to want to see it. Where can we find it? Where can we see it? Is it streaming?
No, because we have to sell it. So right now, the festival circuit. So, and the point of doing that is to sell it. And once it's sold, you have to make sure you follow Wineville Movie and follow Brande Roderick on any of the social media platforms. And as soon as we have a release date and a place where you can watch it and stream it, then we're going to put it out there.
Yeah. So follow Wineville and follow Brande Roderick, and we'll have to post something more. I think we've posted stuff about it. We'll keep posting about it because people are going to want to see this for sure.
But I am kind of curious, for both of you, you're bringing a child actor into a horror movie. I've always tripped on a child actor in a horror movie where they got to be in a scene where kind of crazy, kind of psycho. They're seeing probably some blood. They're seeing some, some
gore.
Some gore. How is that for the kid? How do you explain that to the child? Because they got to get in that scene and really be scared, but at the same time, you don't want to traumatize them. How does that work?
Eaton, he's definitely wasn't scared of any of it. And I think he was 11 at the time. I can't remember. Doing the stuff was fine. And, the blood and the killing and whatnot. But it was the subject matter of the whole movie that I'm not going to allow him to watch the movie because of the other subject matter stuff.
Right.
See, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, do they know what a certain scene might have been perlaying to, or
he didn't read the script? I think he had said.
They only had sides.
I didn't give him his scenes to read, and I didn't give him the whole script to read.
Okay. Because like I said, it's dark.
It's dark. But
dark stuff. I don't care about the blood and guts. It's the other stuff.
Yeah.
No, the reaction was that was a very
no, he was great. You guys were great together.
Thank you.
We pulled it off. You know?
Oh, you guys did fantastic. And I'm so proud of both of you. Brande, oh my gosh, I'm flashing back, remembering all of our talks in the butler's pantry. And I was just so proud of you just going on. I mean, you had this dream. You're an actress and you went off, you did Baywatch, you know, you'd still come back and I'd still get to see you on visitations for parties and stuff like that. And I used to love watching your career blossom.
That sounds so funny. Visitations, like I was in jail.
Well, you know what I mean? Is like you'd be coming back visiting the mansion. It's like because of a party or something. And then I just wanted to catch up and everything. And then seeing this, that's why I said I had no idea. And I apologize if maybe you hinted at it before, but this whole horror thing, I loved it. It was really cool. It was really cool to see you in that genre because you pulled it off. Your acting skills are phenomenal.
Thank you. Well, I don't know if we're running out of time, but I wanted to tell you guys, well, Victoria knows because I sent her some of the pictures, but I've been going through and organizing all my pictures from the mansion.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. So many pictures. And I'm like, holy shit, he freaking took so many pictures. I'm like, why did he take a picture of this? Why did he have a picture of this? Like, there's just so many pictures. And then some of them on the back, you know, taken by Brian, you know, like sometimes you would have to take our pictures before we go out.
Oh, that's right. We would have to know. Elaine Lodge would want to know who took a picture of that because we had a camera in the butler's pantry and we'd have to like, you know, fill out stuff and then they would actually give us credit on the back of those photos.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
It's nice to have those stickers on the back of the photos too, because the year, you know, all that, what it was, the occasion it's really cool.
My friend Marcus Chirac, who you know, who used to always go to the mansion.
Oh yeah,
parties,
Marcus. Yeah.
He gave me this whole set of these glasses that he got at the auction. Were these at the mansion?
Those weren't the ones that we used in the house. Those are the ones that we used in the limousine. How do I know this shit in my head?
I didn't recognize them, so I knew it wasn't house glasses.
Yeah, those were specialized glasses that actually would fit in the the holders in the limousine. So that's where those came from.
Oh, I'm so glad that the mystery solved.
Well, I was wrong during the Q&A. I mean, I asked you 3 questions during the Q&A because I just thought I was so damn smart. I was excited because I kept elbowing Angel. I go, wait a minute. Because we deep down, I'm sorry, we have this embedded mansion life that kind of filters into all of our world. And I was curious about the peacocks, which you corrected me and said that the peacocks were already there at the winery.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but then she mentioned movie nights, which movie nights could be anyone could have a movie night, but it was just for us, it was special because Hef would always have it. But then it was the name of either the peacock or the
Carl.
Or the chicken. It was Carl. And that's what
was Carl the goose?
No, Carl was an African crane that caused all the mischief at the mansion. We've talked about this on other shows. Yeah. And that's what I was like going, I wonder if Brande realizes that subconsciously you put that in there.
I didn't, but do you remember that my dog killed Carl? Or did he?
No.
He didn't attack him, ran after him, and he fell in the water and drowned.
Oh no, that wasn't Spot. That was just one of the other African cranes.
It would have to be.
It was crane.
Spot didn't deserve
she didn't do. She was just running, playing, and then the crane fell into the water.
I actually remember when that happened because I had heard about it. Yeah, that's
sad.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got a part 2 for Wineville. Wineville part 2. One of the peacocks.
Wouldn't be a show if someone didn't die.
Well, I will say when we were driving into set in the winery, and I was in a car with PAs, and you'd hear the sound of the noises.
Such a familiar sound.
And everyone in the car was like, "Well, what is that?" I'm like, "It's a peacock." How do you know? I'm like,
sounds like someone dying.
Okay,
is what it sounds
here's
like.
a question for you, Brande. Could you hear those peacocks up in the master bedroom when you're sleeping? Because you could hear them all the way at the park.
Not really.
I thought it was pretty soundproof up there. That's why I was always curious if you guys could hear it up there because you could all the staff would be parking down at the park and then be walking up and those birds would be going off. So I
don't remember hearing them when we were inside.
Early morning.
Oh my God, we're setting up the
party.
bar. That's all you hear.
In the early morning
all
hours.
The time.
Yeah.
They were going
Sounds
off.
like people dying.
Well, most people don't know is that peacocks actually fly. They would all fly up into the big tree.
Yeah,
I
they
love
fly
that.
in like
in levels.
spurts, but they can get all the way up there on top of the redwoods.
Pretty cool.
Always notice that. Yeah.
I have a question for you. On our movie night, I don't know if you remember, but one of the birthdays I got Hef this really big white blanket, and it said Hef and Brandy. It had all the movie cute patches on it, and it said movie night, and it was our blanket. And I guess apparently they auctioned it off at the auction for all Hef's stuff. And then someone was selling it on eBay. And I'm just like, well, how could they sell my blanket, first of all? But anyway. And now I saw it on there, and I don't know if it got sold or what happened, but now I haven't been able to find it. And I was like, that was our movie blanket. Of course I would want that.
Oh, man. Well, because we actually have, right back there is the Julian's Auctions catalog. I can look through that and see if we can find out who it is. You know what? Now it's challenge accepted. Yeah, challenge accepted. We're going to find that damn blanket. We're going to get it back to you.
Yeah, we find it. It was on eBay. It was where I saw it. So it was after they had already sold it, and then somebody got it, and then they went to sell it on eBay. Maybe it's your boss.
Good one.
And I would like to mention one last mansion connection that kind of is relevant here. Brandy's actually my second of Hef's girlfriends that I've AD'd a movie for. We did on the Girls Next Door. I did the movie with Bridget that she did.
Oh, that's right.
And the reason why I'm just bringing that up is because the director who's in there with us. I mean, it's in the show. It's I'm in there, but it's Bridget and this guy. It's a great man named Jeff Burr in the horror community. He just passed a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
So those of you who know the Girls Next Door episode, anyway, he just passed, and all of us in the horror community. So shout out to Jeff Burr. Rest in peace. He was a great guy. Good horror director. He directed all the sequels in the 80s, Texas Chainsaw 3, Pumpkinhead 2. You know what I mean? All the fun ones. And he was just the kindest guy. So you can see it in Girls Next Door. It's in the episode.
Shout out.
Well, Brandy, again, everyone can go to winevillemovie.com, and then everyone follows you at?
Just my name, Brande Roderick.
Perfect. I would love to see these pictures you say that you have. Because a lot of us have been asking, like, where are all these scrapbooks? And from what I understand is the scrapbooks they're kind of being held back right now. I thought that they were at UCLA. I mean, I thought that's where they were supposed to be going. But from what I heard, they're held back, I think, maybe by the foundation. And I'm just dying to see them. But if you have pics, I would love to be able to see what you got.
I thought Crystal maybe got rid of them all. I didn't realize that they
I don't think she got rid of them. But there is some rumor that they're being held back and that some photos might be taken out, which is unfortunate because, the scrapbook was everything. It was all truth,
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Brandy, we'd love to have you come back. We want to find out, how things are going with Wineville. And we just want to reach out with you, man. I miss you. You're the best. I love you, girl.
Thank you. Well, guys,
all right.
love you. All of you.
All right. Well, thank you again. We are Rogue Bunnies Mayhem, and the mayhem continues.